So, it's April already. I cannot believe it's already April. And what was the first week? Here we go. That's my garden. And you guessed it. Rain, rain, and a little bit more. And on top of the awful weather, which if you watch other YouTubers, gardeners, or anything, you'll realise that everyone's been saying the same thing. And on top of that, I got what I consider the worst dose of man flu, and I'm just into the second week of that, so that also put me off doing anything. But this was Sunday, I think that was the 19th or 20th of April, and I thought, get some tablets and start doing some work. And I had shrubs to get in. Yeah, so this is me operating at about 60% energy levels. It was just knocked me out for 6, but once I started, I just loved it. So what I was doing here, these beds tended to be a dumping ground, or they had any old perennials before I started using shrubs as, my mainstay of my garden. And there wasn't many weeds. There was a few, but nothing. There was soil. The one thing that I dislike is the cats use it for you know what, but there wasn't much of that either. So, but there was some. But we got through that, and here's me trying to garden, get the beds done, and get the shrubs that I'd inherited in the ground. And you'll see a bit later, I got them in, and they looked really sorry for themselves. But we're a week after I've done this bit of recording here, and they're in. And later on you'll be able to see currently where we're up to. They're looking really nice. They've picked up. They need a bit of trimming and tidying up, but considering they were out of the ground for a week, they looked quite well. And the next couple of weeks they'll pick up again. So yeah, I'm just glad I've got to use these beds, and instead of buying small shrubs and waiting a few years for them to grow, I got the instant impact, which is really nice to see, and I'm already enjoying that view. Yeah, even with the ailments, once you get going, you just can't stop, and when you see the progress of your work, it's really satisfying. There's just so much to do. I still haven't painted the wall. The shrubs took priority. I've done bits and bobs of tidying up. I've moved a few things around, but this was my main focus. One of the big jobs. Yeah, really satisfying. Different camera angle. Yeah, so this is a side view of me pruning and tidying up the beds. This was all pre getting the shrubs in. I had to make space, and I had to stop quite a lot because I wasn't feeling great, but I knew that this was a must-do job. So I normally enjoy it. It's just April has been one of those months, weather and you know what, man flu. But I was grateful that the beds didn't need much work, just a bit of pruning and a few perennial weeds that have made it into there over the last couple of months. Once this is done, then you can get down to I bought loads of bedding plants for the summer and the winter boxes, the window boxes, and can't wait to get them planted up. I've done loads and loads of tidying up. The amount of mess that it causes is just crazy. And as you get sorting, you find obviously there's more and more about. Well, this bed seems to have fared up quite well. As I say, there's no major weed infestation, just a bit of overgrowth from, For example, the star jasmine and the wild geranium that I just showed you, or pelargonium as some people call them. So yeah, large shrubs in quite a confined space, but we're also going to utilize this side here. So 7 shrubs should be okay. And yeah, just cram them in and they'll get comfortable in their space. Okay, let's carry on. During filming, every time I press record, there's someone in the houses that back onto us, and it sounded like either a dirt bike or some really strong power tool, and it was doing my head in, and there wasn't a peace and tranquility. It was noise, and every time I press record, it was like his signal to start whatever he was doing again. Bought so many bedding plants for the window boxes and they all need emptying. I was going to try and reuse some of the compost, but I think it's seen better days, and it was just riddled with, you know, weeds and all the stuff that happens over the season. I know there's a lot of animal lovers out there, but I can't stand cats. I wouldn't hurt them, of course, but when they do their business in these, it's not nice. It's not nice at all. Anyway, let's carry on. Yeah, how many references have I put in this video about cats and my ailments? Apologies there. As I say, I wasn't feeling my best. So, had a quick rest break and then we were back at it again. So all the weeding's pretty much done. I was debating whether to rip up the perennials that I don't have any interest anymore, but they were looking great, so I just had to leave them and utilize what space I could make and get these shrubs in. I don't know about you guys, but our council only in the last year started charging for green waste. It used to be included in your council tax, but now it's an extra charge. So I tend to either compost, or most of the time I tend to take it to the local recycling tip and let them do the composting for me. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better during the voiceover recording here, so I've still got a few symptoms, but I think the energy levels are coming back, so just in time for the end of the month, and hopefully I'll be able to get a lot more things done in the build up to the May, which is my birthday month. 2 bank holidays and my birthday, which is really good. So normally by now the garden's looking really good, but this year compared to last, it's been so cold, and I do think it's rained a lot more this month compared to this time last year. Okay, yeah, I couldn't put it off another week because, you know, how long could it last out of the ground? So I've dug my first hole. I'm gonna get it in, and yeah, see, he's not feeling well. Gonna get him in the ground and get him watered big time. Okay, that's the first one dug in and watered in. So I couldn't wait any longer. As you can see, it's quite shocked by the last week it's been in a black bin bag. So dug it down, bit of food and a blooming good water, and then hopefully in the next couple of days, if not overnight, it'll pick up. Watch this space. Okay, and typical on a Sunday, someone's decided to use a lawnmower or a dirt bike or something every 5 minutes, so can't get any quietness, so there might be some overdubbing in these videos. There it is. In real life, it doesn't look too bad. On camera, it looks blooming awful. But we'll get there. I'm sure they've been through worse trauma than this. So I might have invented a new shrub, the drooping unimus. But watch this space. Plant number 1 in. Let's keep on going before I need to remedicate. See you in the next clip. Okay, so my choice here, Sundance. Dry as a crisp root ball. And so's this guy. They're so versatile and tough. What I'm going to do first is absolutely soak the root ball before I do anything. Shrub number 2 in. Let's water it. I won't tell you, I've just dropped my phone into that big puddle of mud, but it still works. Okay, here we go. There we go. It's always the look of it before root ball, not the plants, but there we go. Look at that. Looks like it's never been away. Yeah, looking good. Let's give it a good drench. And hopefully it'll look like this. It's a messy blooming job, but it's so satisfying. I think I'm going to worry about the landscaping a bit later, but for now I just want to get it in the ground and have a cup of coffee. Oh yes, let's carry on. And that's number 3 in, watered. Looks better in real life. Pictures don't do it justice. I think I've got enough shrubs now to last me a lifetime. No more shrub gardening for me. This is it. Okay, so it's a few days later. Still got man flu, but things have calmed down. And everything is settling in nicely. I just wish you could see it with your eyes as opposed to on the TV screen. I'm really pleased with how they've picked up. I've still got a few that need to get put somewhere, but let's have a closer look. Yeah, they're picked up really nicely. Got them in the ground. Still a bit of droopiness, but as you can see, compared to when it went in on Sunday, which is now 3 days ago, it's really doing well. Same with this one, but I think I'll be moving this into a pot because I think I'm going to be putting something else there instead. There's my star jasmine doing its thing, and this one's already been there, so it looks really nice. I'm really happy with it. And there's the last one I put in next to the astilbe and next to my dwarf pines and my usual. Got loads of plants ready to go into the plant boxes and planters and anywhere where I can find a space really, but they're currently residing in the house, and hopefully the weather will pick up soon so we can put them outside and get them acclimatized. And that's it really. The amount of mess it makes when you're rejigging and moving stuff around, but it'll be worth it in the end. Can't wait to see it over the next couple of weeks. Let's have a look at the other ones that I've put in some planters at the moment. These are the ones that I couldn't find space for in my raised beds. So they're in planters and they look great. They'll do absolutely fine there. It's really big. Must be about 4 foot tall. And this one, not as pleasing to the eye, but still it'll fill out as time goes on. All progress. And this was a unanimous shrub that I just needed to cut back. It was getting leggy and it wasn't performing good, so I've just trimmed that back to growth points, and next couple of weeks it should pick up again. But yeah, lots of delayed work in the garden, but we're making steps in the right direction. What I've had to do with a few of the shrubs that looked a bit leggy and needed a bit of rejuvenation, I've took it to the extreme, cut them right back, and they should be coming back in the next couple of weeks hopefully, and they'll look a hell of a lot different. Let's have a look, see what I've done. These were my Spira Unimus. They were lovely, but the bottoms, all the leaves have fallen off, so I've cut them right back, and I'm going to watch these come back. Yeah, it was now or never, and before I start sorting out the pots and planting and stuff, this was all stuff that I couldn't do while the weather was bad. And this is the other ones I haven't touched. I'm going to leave them and just compare and see what the other ones I've cut back come back as. These aren't as leggy, and this is my hostas. Still haven't come out. The ones in the garden centre, obviously, they've come on, but these, when these come out though, these will be really nice. Two-tone, they're variegated white and green. I can't wait for them to come out, and I have no problem. I use copper tape like this, and I've got them raised on a terracotta planter, and I don't seem to have any problem. And that is all the stuff I've cut off from those pots. Yeah, and there's the leftover Unimus cuttings that when I pruned it back to twigs, which you saw in the previous video just a couple of minutes ago. It needed doing, it's extreme, but wait until it comes back, it'll be worth it. No pain, no gain. There it is there. Yeah, that's what it looked like after I'd cut it right back. I look forward to seeing it. You'll be able to see already. This is a couple of days later since I pruned it, and you can already see these little nodes coming off. So it's already, after a few days, throwing out some new buds, and I'll look after it a bit better this time. Again, it was just looking a bit too bare for my liking, and if you wanted to stay in shape, then you need to keep on top of these things, which unfortunately I didn't. Yeah, April's been a washout, but hopefully it's onwards and upwards now. We'll be able to get some more jobs done, and there's plenty of those to be going on. And it's now Wednesday, and I think it was Sunday that I put these things back in the ground. They spent a week out of the ground, but again, just look. It's doing absolutely fine. They're tough. They're really tough. Hydrangea is, well, need I say more? They just grow anywhere and look amazing. Although it's not my favourite type of shrub. That's one of the Unimuses. It's been in here about a year or two now. That was another donation. Very lucky. My mum and dad redo their garden quite often, so they grow them and then start all over again. So I've took on the larger ones. The Astilbe in the middle there. It's a shade-loving perennial. And here's another one that I put in on Sunday. I don't know what that is. I'll have to try and find out. If I get the name, I'll put it up. If not, I'll have to find out in a future video and let you know. Yeah, they're just tough plants. And they give you colour all year. And you can trim them like a hedge. And it makes them bushy, which is what I absolutely love. And here is the Unimus number 3. Yeah, number 3 that I put in the ground. Doing really well. Probably give it another couple of weeks and then give it a trim, which will obviously encourage any of the bits that need improving. I'll give them that little boost. Okay, and I just love this in the summertime. Sitting under here is really nice. Tree canopy, the hawthorns. This one here, full bloom, and you can see here it's just an abundance of white blossom. And these trees, if you read up on them, the medicinal purposes they have them for, and all the different reasons they have these trees historically, they're just an absolute hive of activity for the pollen insects. Bees love it. You can always hear the bees and the other pollinators love this tree. And the other two are yet to come out into full floral bloom. And that's it. Thanks so much for watching if you have stuck around to the end. It's been a very strange video to make. Absolutely a month in the making. For all sorts of reasons. And then in the autumn, the berries that this gives off, obviously. The birds. We're now heading into May, and it's all going to be good. Thanks. Happy gardening. See you in the next one.